Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we got quite a big news that has to do with Bernie Sanders and his campaign. Obviously, he ended up dropping out a few weeks ago, but we you could come here and discuss the reasons and the factors why Bernie Sanders didn't have a successful campaign in 2020. But I think one of them has to do with his ex campaign manager or his you know top of advisor on 2020, his campaign in 2020, Jeff Weaver, who right now there's an article about him in the New York Times that says top Bernie Sanders advisor Jeff Weaver is behind a new super PAC aimed to rally progressives behind Joe Biden. It's called Future to Believe in PAC, and Weaver is teaming up with ex-Sanders advisor Mark Lowenthal. And the reason why this is so troubling is because a super PAC is formed to ask for money that comes from many places, corporations, top allies, even people who are fighting for the special interests in different private sectors in the market come in and say, look, I want to give you money because I want to support Joe Biden. So here's the money, go make ads that in favor of Joe Biden and supporting Joe Biden from a progressive point of view, and that's what the troubling part. And so this guy Jeff Weaver, who happens to be the ex manager in 2016, and the current top advisor Bernie Sanders, making a super PAC that will allow him to accept money, dark money in this case, to support Joe Biden from a progressive point of view. So he was going to run ads saying, look, Joe Biden is a progressive, or he's progressive because of this reason. This is just allocating and telling lies to make progressives think, probably Joe Biden is progressive enough for me to go out there and vote for him. All right. So this is what Jeff Weaver has been doing, and it's very troubling. Even Bernie Sanders has just came out and said, look, I don't agree with this. I don't want you to have a super PAC because I was very against corporate money or dark money. And now you're going to go and make your own super PAC and start accepting dark money? It doesn't make any sense. And there's also another guy who's doing it, and this is, I think it's another advisor, I think it's Joe Rocha. Chuck Rocha. Chuck Rocha was one of the main, main strategies that Bernie Sanders hired to gain or to get the Latino vote, especially in Texas and in other states where people, Latino community still didn't know much about Bernie Sanders. And Chuck Rocha came in here and help him massively get that vote and get that support for those communities. And Chuck Rocha, if you like right here, also like Jeff Weaver, made his own super PAC. I think it's a Latino super PAC in Texas that was gonna start gathering money, dark money, corporate money, to support Joe Biden. And this really freaking sucks because I seen Joe Rocha in action. I seen him and the way he actually went out there and supported Bernie Sanders and campaigned for him. He did a very good job. He was able to actually capitalize on the vote of Latinos and the community for Bernie Sanders. And he did a pretty good job in Texas. But it's very upsetting, and to be honest, it's very what's the word? I run out of words for it to say here. It's very upsetting to see Joe Rocha doing this. I can expect Jeff Weaver to do something like that, but fuck, Joe Rocha, man, hey, that's very sad because the only people who is hurting here is us in our movement, the progressive movement, and this side of politics. Bernie Sanders came out against this. He told them no, don't do it, but he still went ahead. So that tells a lot who of the people who they are or who they became. All right, and in this case, we also have another perspective from another surrogate who also was in massive support of Bernie Sanders, and who actually campaigned for Bernie Sanders, and who actually was inside the Bernie Sanders campaign. And this is none other than Jamal Green. Jamal Green, if you don't know, he's entrepreneur, civil rights advocate of the community organizer, and a former Chicago mayoral candidate. All right. He obviously also was a Bernie Sanders surrogate, traveling Bernie Sanders, and both campaigns in 2016 and also in 2020. Let's read what he has to say. I was a surrogate traveling with Bernie Sanders on both campaigns. Jeff Weaver was a campaign manager in last election against Hillary. Campaign made a million mistakes. They didn't learn from them because Jeff Weaver came back as a senior advisor. Bernie didn't trust Fez, who happened to be the new campaign manager of Bernie Sanders in 2020, like he does Weaver. Sickening. Fez fell in line behind whatever Weaver said because he didn't know how to run a major campaign. That's why Weaver speaks every time there's a major news, and Weaver writes up every press statement. He's Bernie's mouthpiece and certainly ran him into the ground, in my opinion. He also said it. Jeff Weaver stopped Bernie Sanders from going after the black vote like he would have. Weaver made Bernie drop out and endorse Biden. Weaver stopped Bernie Sanders from talking about Tara Reid. And now Weaver is heading a super PAC to help Joe Biden. Fuck Weaver. He's not progressive. Right? Jeff Weaver ain't shit. When we wanted Bernie to spend more money in black media, he shut it down. When they shut down efforts in Mississippi, basically giving up the effort to black voters, Weaver did that. Weaver made Bernie lose twice. He makes every final decision for Bernie Sanders. So there you have it. Like, when a surrogate himself, he said, look, I was with both campaigns in 2016 and 2020, and this is what happened with Weaver. He made all the, public statements for Bernie Sanders. He's the one who decided, look, we're not going to go this way about how we deal with the rest of the candidates on the debate stage. We're not gonna say this about this candidate. We're not gonna attack these candidates in this certain way. We're not gonna allocate resources to gain these votes from these people. And to be honest, I think Bernie Sanders was very, very naive to trust someone like Jeff Weaver. Obviously, he lost in 2016. He almost won. He lost for different reasons and many factors. And one of them being the obviously Democratic, the Democratic Party came in and got in the way. And this time we could say the same thing happened, but we're not gonna go out there and not acknowledge the fact that there's people within his campaign that advised Bernie wrongly. Everyone was saying, look, Bernie, you have to go on and attack them. You cannot, bow down and just be calm as you go through the debate stages and let them come in and attack you massively, and you just play the defensive move all the time. You know what I mean? Jeff Weaver was the reason why he never did that. Bernie Sanders never came out and attacked and be in the offensive, because Jeff Weaver told him, just let them attack you. Don't attack them. Don't go low and try to attack them based on dirty things that they did in the past, even though they're doing the same thing to you, Bernie. Don't do those things. And also, don't go out there and try to get the votes from the African American communities. You don't really need to allocate resources in there. Which, what the fuck was biggest mistake? He said he was going to go on there campaign in every community and every vote matter. But now he's top advisor saying, no, we shouldn't allocate resources in Mississippi to get the vote, because more likely Biden is going to win that. And here he is getting super PAC money, getting corporate money. Why? Because he already ran the Bernie Sanders campaign to the ground. Now he's collecting his check. And I guess I will see how much money he gets. I'm sure he's going to get a lot. And now Chuck Rocha on the other side, obviously, if Joe Biden wants that Latino vote, he thinks that he's not going to get it. And we Rocha in there maybe lying for him, it could work. And this is what we have to confront. This is the kind of people that sometimes we end up trusting. And I'm sure Bernie Sanders knows this. Hopefully he already understood what he did wrong. And for future references, man, you need to know when, something's going wrong, when certain things you got to do, you do them because you have a hunch, you got to do them, man. In this case, Bernie Sanders is not attacking Joe Biden or attacking any other person who came and, played the dirty game with him. Oh, it was the wrong move, in my opinion. He needed to be the front runner, and he needed to act like the outsider that he was. But no, he let them walk all over him in the debate stage, especially someone like fucking Joe Biden. As you see, he has a lot of fucking skeletons on his closet. So here we are. Make sure to let us know what you think about this story, what you think about Bernie Sanders, how he handled this, and how he can handle this for the future. Obviously, we have to take all these people out of their fucking movement because they're not progressives. Especially someone like Joe Rocha that I thought, who is a massive asset. But it turns out that he's running another super PAC in behalf of Joe Biden, as well as Jeff Weaver, fucking asshole. So let us know what you think in the comment section, and make sure to subscribe to our channel. It helps us massively. We want to keep growing with you guys. I'll continue posting out content in the next few days. Until next time, make sure to take care of yourself. Peace.